Hello everyone, this is Eve, and I'm coming to you with You'll Learn to Love Me, a Yandere Masky X-Reader by FluffyWubs on Wattpad. We're going to be starting off with Chapter 1. I just couldn't shake this feeling off, the feeling of being watched, being stalked. Is this what paranoia feels like? Everywhere I go, I just feel unsafe. I know I'm not crazy. Taking in a deep breath, I buried my hands into my warm pockets of my jacket. It was a cold, snowy morning, and yet I still had to go to work. Not only did I miss the bus, I also got a blizzard of snow coming up ahead of me. Just peachy. The road was far too dangerous to go with my car, and I decided not to take the risk, but then again, this would risk me being late if I didn't speed up my pace. The streets were dark and dull, which is not too surprising on an early morning. I mean, sure, it's refreshing to go outside to get some air, but not so early in the morning. The streets could be dangerous, and the heavy snow wasn't a good thing either. I mean, who knows what could lay up ahead? My legs were already aching from so much walking, and I could almost be glad that I would be able to rest my legs at work. Once I arrived at the building of my work, I pushed the doors open with a breath of relief. The moment I stepped in, I immediately felt the warmth from this place engulf me. It's very soothing after a long, struggling walk from home, and my job wasn't anything special, really. All I can say is that I'm paid well enough to live in a decent apartment and get my daily things to keep myself healthy. I first greeted the receptionist, who usually gives me a smile as a reply. I went up ahead to the elevator to move myself to the usual floor I always go to. Before I could actually enter the elevator itself, I heard a high-pitched voice shout my name behind me. Wyan, Wyan, hold on. I turn around on my heels, watching as one of my coworkers, friend, races over to me. I put on a smile. I'd always appreciate it when Emma would race up to me in excitement just from seeing me. It made me feel like I was worth something. Hey, Em. I greet her with a grin. Equally excited as her, she wraps her arms around me and gives me a bone-crushing hug. She could almost lift me off the ground. Did you really come all the way walking? She asks as she pulls back. The tone in her voice made it sound like she couldn't believe it. Pretty much. I let out a short laugh as I enter the elevator, and Emma follows. I press the button to the second floor where Emma and I have to go. What a woman, Emma jokes, making me snicker. She never fails to brighten up my day. Also, did you hear anything from Tyler? Emma suddenly asks out of the blue as the elevator doors close. I purse my lips and shake my head. I mean, the last time I saw him was Friday, pretty much. Why would she ask that? I don't know Tyler that well. He's still pretty much a newbie at our work, and he's been working here for a week now, I guess. I haven't. Why? I ask as I take a quick look at myself in the mirror of the elevator. Nobody's heard anything from him since Friday. I mean, they said he might be missing. Emma explains with a more worried tone of voice. Another disappearance? That isn't anything new, but it's still horrible. It's been said that this building is cursed or haunted or something, mainly because new people tend to disappear, and it's not just new people in particular. It felt like every time I was starting to build a friendship with someone, they'd disappear 1 or 2 weeks later. Some people even quit their job because of this particular thing, which is why we needed more workers. Though many people didn't want to take the job because they were too afraid, and I'm not sure if this is a coincidence or not, the fact that once I start to talk to them, they either leave or go missing. This is probably just my paranoia talking. Oh, that's terrible. I frown as the elevator reaches the first floor. It is. His family reached out to us this morning in case we saw him around, Emma said. Huh, I responded. I didn't really know what else to say. It's not the first time this has happened. We can't really do anything about it. A ding from the elevator makes me snap out of my thoughts, realizing we've already reached the second floor. The elevator doors open and Emma and I step out. Okay, so away from the sad stuff, I got something exciting. Emma cracks a grin as she turns her head to look up at me excitedly. Oh boy. I brace myself for whatever's coming. What is it? I ask. Please don't be a party. Please don't be a party. Please don't be. There's this big party at Logan's house this weekend and we should totally go. Emma squeals happily. Ah, Logan. Of course it had to be Logan. That one egotistic asshole that only cares about himself and no one else. The one Emma had a crush on for the longest time. I don't like parties, especially the ones that are full of young adults such as myself that only drink, smoke, or do dumb shit at a party. I don't like having myself in such a crowd. Emma, you know I don't like parties, especially Logan's parties. I frown. Emma's grin falters into disappointment. Please, please, please. I would really appreciate it if you come along with me. I need your help with Logan. Emma begged, wrapping her hands around my right arm while giving me her best puppy dog eyes. Man, I knew Emma would probably do something for me if I really wanted it as well. Alright, fine, but no drinking, I warn her sternly. Emma is never herself when she's intoxicated. Last time she almost slept with a stranger if it wasn't for me stopping her. Emma grins brightly once more before hugging me from the side, repeating many thank yous over and over and over, and I manage to smile. It's worth it to see her happy. Come on, we need to get to work, I snicker as I pry her hands off of me. Fast forward a few hours until it's around 8 p.m. or so, I finally get out of work. Emma offered me to take me home with her car, but I politely declined. If she did that, she would have to ride around my entire neighborhood before she could go into the road that led to her home, which means it would waste her time plus her gas. She tried to convince me that it would be fine, but after I declined the third time, she gave up. She told me to be careful on my way home before she said goodbye, and yeah, I definitely had to be careful. Nighttime was the most dangerous time in this type of place. I couldn't wait to get home and be greeted by my boyfriend. Speaking of my boyfriend, Nathan, I'm worried about him. He became so distant in the past couple of days, he barely spent time with me anymore. He wouldn't greet me with loving kisses as he used to, and just overall seems flat out annoyed when I'm around him. I try to brush it off as always. He's probably just going through a phase every couple goes through. As I make my way through the harsh blizzard of snow, I couldn't help but notice something or someone up ahead. It seemed like a person, a male, as I could tell from his body shape. Someone just standing there in the distance. I could only see his silhouette, and I stopped in my tracks, squinting my eyes to get a better look up ahead. Maybe it was just some homeless guy standing around. I mean, it's not rare for homeless people to roam around at night. I decided to cross the road to the other side just to be safe. You never know what could happen to a defenseless girl on the streets. Once I crossed the road, I glimpsed over to the side I had just crossed to check if the guy was still standing there. Surprisingly, there was nothing there. I let out a sigh and shake my head, rubbing the bridge of my nose with my fingers. I'm just being paranoid. Calm down, YN, I muttered to myself before stuffing my hand into my pocket and continued walking. I really need to stop feeling so unsafe. Maybe if I bring a weapon with me, I'd feel less unsafe. The only weapon I have on me right now are my house keys, which aren't that good at to protect myself with. Oh well. I continue walking until I see my apartment complex, and with a smile of relief, I walk up to the door and ring the bell of my apartment number. Nathan is supposed to be inside. Not even a second after I ring the doorbell, the door suddenly opened up before I heard Nathan's voice come from the speakers. I almost jumped in surprise when Nathan himself opened the door, all dressed up. Was he leaving again? Oh, babe. Nathan cleared his throat. I forced myself to smile and look up into his brown eyes. You're going out again? I asked. He would occasionally leave at night to attend some sort of late-night meeting with the boys. I didn't buy it. I never did. I was just too nice to actually stick my nose in his business. Yeah, I'll be back in a few hours. See you soon. He says nothing more besides that before brushing his way past me, leaving the door open for me to enter. I let my smile drop before sighing and entering the complex, shutting the door behind me. Sighing, I drag myself over to the elevator. Why does he keep doing this? I just can't stop worrying about him. I enter the elevator, pressing the button that would lead me to the 5th floor, and in the back of my mind, I had the worst-case scenario playing. He would leave to cheat with some random whore on the street to satisfy himself before coming back. Am I not good enough for him? I mean, I didn't really want to do anything until marriage, and he was fine with that. Maybe that was the problem. But he promised he would wait as well. Swallowing the lump forming in my throat, I step out of the elevator once I reach my floor, and I walk myself to the front of my door, unlocking it with my keys before stepping inside. I flicked the light switch on before shutting the door behind me, and I really needed a drink. My throat felt dry and almost sore because of it, and I walked up to the kitchen and took out a glass from the cupboard before filling it up with water from the tap. As I took a few gulps, I noticed a yellow sticky note on the cabinet that was hanging on my wall. Placing the cup down, I furrowed my brows and grabbed the sticky note in my hand. Something was messily scribbled onto it. Nathan's cheating, 329 Arcadia Street, was all that it said. Who put this here? Did Nathan do this? No, why would he? Is this some sort of joke? I mean, this can't be. Nathan wouldn't. I clutched the small note in my hands, rereading the address over and over. Maybe I should go. I mean, should I? What if some crazy person broke into my house and left this note so they could kidnap me or something? But Nathan was home almost the entire day, and nobody could have been in the house besides him. Taking a deep breath, I hold the note in my hands as I make my way to the door, and it wouldn't hurt to check out the address, right? The address wasn't too far from my house, so I decided to go with my car. I had to use my GPS, the phone on my GPS, and find out where I had to go before I got lost in the middle of nowhere. The drive was around 5 to 10 minutes long before I arrived at an empty parking lot. It wasn't just any parking lot, it was a parking lot behind a strip club. I could clearly see the back of the building. Some strippers would step out from the back to have a smoke or something like that, and I probably wasted my time coming here. The note was probably some stupid prank by Nathan. I was ready to head back to the comfort of my home before I saw the back door open once again. I expected a stripper to step out, which is exactly what happened, except this one had company. Is that Nathan? I leaned a bit forward in my seat to get a better look. No, that can't be him. I could feel my heart sink into my stomach as I watched Nathan and this random girl start a heated makeout session at the back of the building. No matter how many times I tried to convince myself that wasn't Nathan, I couldn't believe it. What a two-faced, lying, cheating jerk. With tears building up in my eyes, I started up my car before speeding off. Stupid Nathan, stupid note. Why did I even bother? I can't believe he's been cheating on me this whole time. And I've been being such a loyal, truthful girlfriend, too. I mean, he doesn't deserve me. I grip my steering wheel tighter in anger as I feel tears rolling down my cheeks. Why? 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 With a cry of anger, I slammed the door shut behind me. I was so angry, so heartbroken, and out of all things that could happen to me, this is what I had to happen? I don't even know what to do. I'm just walking around my apartment in anger, my hands clenched into tight fists as I try to calm myself down. I rubbed my tear-stained cheeks with my sleeves before heading to the kitchen. I was about to drink a cup of water to calm myself down, but a bright yellow color caught my eye, stopping me in my tracks. A note? Another note. Where did that come from? This one was stuck on the counter instead of the cabinet, and the note had no words on it. The only thing that was on there were 3 scribbles that resembled hearts. What the hell? Who left this here? Maybe Emma? She does have a spare key to your apartment after all, but she wouldn't just enter my house without texting me first or something. Should I call the police? No, this is not enough proof that someone is possibly breaking into your apartment. I'm just overthinking it. I crumpled up the paper before tossing it in the trash. I definitely needed a good night's sleep after today. I made sure I locked all my doors and windows. Nathan nor anyone else is coming inside. Not today, not ever. That is the end of that chapter. The chapter after that. Ooh. Oh, it doesn't have a name, but that's okay. I read through this. Now, I am going to say this is NSFW. It says mature on Wattpad, so I'm assuming it has NSFW content. So please, 18 and older only. I beg. But other than that, let me know what you guys think about the story. And honestly, I'm interested. I mean, I'm all for some Yandere stuff, like, genuinely. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!